There was a time when I thought Rahul Gandhi had the market cornered on bad luck. But then along came Justin Trudeau, and boy, does he give Rahul a run for his money in the unlucky department. Trudeau had this brilliant plan, or so he thought, to become a hero in the Western world by launching a campaign against India. Not a terrible idea on the surface, except for the one tiny detail he seemed to overlook: evidence. Solid evidence, that is. You see, it's a bit of a problem when you decide to take on a country like India without crucial facts to back you up. Predictably, Trudeau's grand plan to isolate India on the global stage didn't quite pan out as he'd hoped. Instead, his own administrative blunders started coming to light one after another, making him look like a struggling magician trying to pull off a disappearing act. Desperate times call for desperate measures, they say, and Trudeau turned to his trump card, the global media. Irony, however, seems to have a sense of humor because the very media outlets he hoped would rally to his cause are unintentionally making India's job easier. First, we had the Washington Post making a series of blunders that left Trudeau red-faced, and now the Financial Times has dropped a bombshell revealing that Trudeau's allegations against India are nothing but empty rhetoric. To add fuel to the fire, there's talk of India revoking Canada's diplomatic immunity if things don't get sorted out pronto. So buckle up, dear viewers, because we are about to dive into the roller coaster ride that is Trudeau's misadventures in international diplomacy. Grab your popcorn because it's bound to be a wild and bumpy journey. Financial Times in its recent reports has made quite an effort to portray Justin Trudeau as the innocent kid next door being bullied by an evil student named Bharat. However, the way they've gone about it might even make Uncle Trudeau himself wonder, are you really on my side, pal? This saga of international intrigue began when External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, addressing a press conference in Washington, D.C., made it clear that the ongoing situation in Canada should not be considered normal. He emphasized that freedom of expression should not extend to incitement of violence, alluding to the history of Khalistani terror activities that have frequently targeted Indian embassies in Canada. The Financial Times report, on the other hand, indicated that while India had rejected the claims, it hadn't outright denied its involvement in the case. According to the report, India did not admit involvement in the murder but did not deny the claim either. According to people familiar with the meetings, the Indian government said it had rejected the allegations. What followed was a revelation that Trudeau's assertion in the Canadian Parliament came after weeks of secretive diplomacy with India, which had failed to secure India's cooperation in the police investigation into the murder in question. Even during a G20 meeting with India's PM Narendra Modi, India categorically refused to cooperate. In earlier interactions, India had gone to the extent of urging Canada to halt the inquiry, as mentioned in the Financial Times report. Now, it's important to note that the Financial Times has never been known for a pro-India stance. However, as we go further into the report, they inadvertently made India's job a whole lot easier. According to their report, Canadian media have reported that Ottawa has intercepts of conversations involving Indian diplomats that point to official involvement in Nijjar shooting last June. India has denied seeing any such evidence. Ottawa is limited in what it can share with the Indian government, partly to protect the sources and methods used to collect the intelligence, but also to avoid compromising the murder investigation, according to people familiar with the matter. In simpler terms, Financial Times has diplomatically stated that Canada has little to negligible evidence to substantiate its claims of India's involvement. For Trudeau, this revelation couldn't have come at a worse time, as he grapples with a situation that seems to be slipping further away from his control. But wait, there's more to this unraveling saga. Financial Times has gone a step further by revealing India's intentions to revoke the diplomatic immunity of a significant number of Canadian diplomats. According to the reports, New Delhi has firmly advised Ottawa to repatriate approximately 40 diplomats by October 10. Failure to comply with this directive will result in the removal of diplomatic immunity for those diplomats who choose to remain beyond that date. To put into perspective, Canada currently maintains 62 diplomats in India, and India has explicitly stated that their number should be reduced by 41, as per the FT report. The revelation is somewhat surprising considering that this diplomatic tussle had not garnered much attention until the Financial Times report emerged. However, if the Financial Times is that insistent on such matters, perhaps it's time to grant the wish. In fact, Our government could take it a step further by recalling our ambassadors from Canada, effectively designating them as a pariah in the realm of geopolitics due to their appeasement of extremists of any kind. In fact, as a direct consequence of this diplomatic standoff over the Nijjham murder case, India has already suspended visa services for Canadian citizens. Contrary to Justin Trudeau's aspirations, it is the Canadians who find themselves isolated on the global stage. The major powers, including the so-called Five Eyes Alliance, have largely thrown their weight behind India's stance, refusing to back Canada. With the exception of Pakistan, most of India's neighbors are surprisingly aligning with India, accusing Canada of providing shelter to anti-social elements, particularly terrorists. Justin Trudeau now appears to be digging his own political grave deeper with each passing day. The Washington Post and Financial Times inadvertently bolster India's claims with their reports, strengthening our position in this diplomatic standoff. Trudeau may have intended to paint himself as a global hero, but he seems to be sealing his own fate in a less than favorable manner.